Mhm. Hi everyone, comic book reviewer here. This time reviewing on the 1997 film Selena. Now, as you know, Selena is a 1997 biological musical drama film which was about, the life story of Toronto music star Selena Quintina Press. And keep in mind that since Selena obviously was meant to be this big, amazing music star, of course, after her death in 1995, people saw it as a golden opportunity to cash in. But I think despite some greedy protests and even Selena's family years later mentioned their being forced against their will, I can definitely see where director Gregory Nava really was a bit more careful not to get too greedy about the film. And the premise of the film is meant to take place all the way from 1981 all the way to 1995. We do kind of see how Selena's father, Abraham, starts to see Selena's potential, seeing that she can actually have a singing talent. We see how he has this idea about creating a band, and even throughout the film, we see how, despite some tests and struggles, we do see how Abraham wants to keep that sort of clean family image, and obviously we even do see how the family struggle also go against each other, as well as having to work things out reasonably. And I think the whole point of the film is not only about Selena's story, but also the family in general. You get this sense, obviously, Selena's still seeing things a bit like a child. We do see how Abraham doesn't want Selena emulating his mistakes when him and his band, the Dinos, did try to kind of go with a different music style, and you can really tell after some mishaps. It's clear Abraham had to learn from that wisdom to make sure not to emulate similar mistakes. I think the film works in some ways. Like, I think Abraham's that example of a father who's obviously wanting to keep that clean, positive family image. You get this sense that Selena's obviously meant to be a bit more seeing things like a child, and we do kind of see how, after her and Chris get to know each other, you can tell right away Abraham does have some protests and does kind of seem to be a bit more cautious about him. I think this is where later down the film, you can tell when Yolanda comes into the picture that obviously the good Selena saw in her was just a reflection of herself, and because of it, it led to a lot of dark, unnecessary problems. I can definitely see where Abraham, as well as the family, at first were a little against the film, but you can kind of get a sense they obviously did warm up. There was a sense of wanting to kind of pay respect to Selena's memory, despite obviously Selena seeing things a bit like a child. I think Jennifer Lopez was the right choice for Selena. Like, obviously, you get this sense like she has to play this character who's still trying to be that positive image. She obviously knows Abraham puts her to high standards, and obviously you know Abraham doesn't want to see Selena make a complete fool of herself. And I think the film also does a good job in not only pointing out about toxic fandom, but how I think some people can take their love for things like a musician, a writer, an artist, as well as a sort of influencer a bit too well. And you do get a sense that some of the people that Selena meets on on stage and the people around her do seem to treat her with a bit more dignity, whereas those who obviously go a bit too far, they don't really know how to dial it back. But I can also see where some things were cut out from the film, like obviously Selena confronting Yolanda about the records after Yolanda faked about her injuries. There is also like Chris and Selena not are basically getting married. I can understand Abraham being against the idea about not giving kids the wrong idea, and obviously not wanting people to see how easy it is to get married at a young age, even though you need time with it. I think it's one of those films that's obviously trying to throw in what it needs to pay respect to Selena, as she was that positive icon for the whole Toronto music community. The same way Prince was that positive image for the whole music community. The same way I think the Beatles were a bit more of that 60s era. There was a certain music group, a certain writer and artist that obviously had that positive image for the musical community. I think Selena is enjoyable. It is trying to fit in being biographical, but obviously using some clips from the film, from real life events. It's obviously using actors that need to fit close to the film, to the film counterparts. It's obviously trying to fit to where obviously characters, or obviously that in real life had to fit in. I think Selena definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, comic reviewer here, signing out.